Coming up next on Bear News, we have Shelly Schwartz here, who's going to show us what went on at the Winter Formals. Who said casinos don't exist on the UNC campus? Bellagio brought the fun of gambling to students on campus. Stay tuned to see who took the big win home. Also, the Knights Who Light Up the Night Sky returned to the UNC campus to tell their story. And, although it's been a cold winter lately, UNC keeps the Bears warm with the Snowball Winter Formal. Bear News starts now.
Good afternoon, Bears. Happy Friday. I'm Sophia Tavanello. This is Bear News. Today we'll be exploring stories ranging from university events to some cold weather updates. This weekend, UNC will open its newest show, The Unexpected Man. Reporter Shelly Schwartz stopped by one of their rehearsals to learn about the show's surprising stars.
The Unexpected Man, a play about an abnormal occurrence starring an unlikely leading man. Who is that man? The Dean of the College of Natural and Health Sciences, Kamel Haddad. Haddad is no stranger to the theater. He performed in his first play, Peter Pan, at the age of 14.
After my first appearance on stage, I was hit by the bug.
Despite how much he loved theater, Haddad's father encouraged him to pursue a more stable career, so he majored in mathematics. But he never forgot about theater.
I remain connected to theater because that's really my passion, my spiritual outlet.
And now, for the first time, Haddad will be performing at the University of Northern Colorado. He's joined by acting professor Shelly Gaza. Although teaching acting is a big part of her day, Gaza hasn't acted professionally for 6 years. After receiving the script from Haddad, the pair decided that now was the right time to make this show happen.
Kamel and I hadn't had the opportunity to act on stage in a while, and we were missing it and really wanting to do a project, and this seemed like the right one.
Assistant Director McKenna Maupin says that she's learned some valuable lessons while working with Haddad.
The biggest surprise for this, for me in this, was Kamel. He is the Dean of the Health and Sciences and has a doctorate in math. I had no idea he was such a great artist. It's eye-opening to see that art comes from anyone and everyone, and not to judge so much.
The Unexpected Man will perform on Saturday, January 20th at 7 p.m. and Sunday, January 21st at 2 p.m. in Campus Commons Art Gallery. Admission is free. With Bear News, I'm Shelly Schwartz.
Another fun fact about that story, Haddad also has an IMDb page and has been on shows like The West Wing and NCIS. Thanks, Shelly. This morning, a virtual meeting actively sought input on the historic Deerfield settlement. The National Park Service wants your insight for the potential inclusion of Deerfield in the park system. The roots of this initiative trace back to a study led by UNC professors George June and Robert Bruwig. Deerfield is about 25 miles east of Greeley and holds the distinction of being the largest black homesteading settlement in Colorado. The ongoing special resource study relies on public input to comprehensively evaluate the site. The evaluation is grounded in four pivotal congressional criteria: national significance, suitability, feasibility, and the need for national park management. For the study to progress, all four criteria must yield positive findings, paving the way to identify the site as eligible. If you'd like to watch a recording of the meeting, follow the link on the screen. Up next, we have Zvi Gutierrez reporting on the School of Psychology training program.
School psychologists are often confused for school counselors and educational psychologists. School psychologists look at mental health, attention, behavior, and learning problems and why students struggle with this. This field tends to not be well known, and there is a school psychologist shortage across the nation.
But then in Northern Colorado, it's especially concerning for areas that don't have big population centers, that don't have a lot of people living in them. Because there's not a lot of people who graduate and decide they want to live in some of these rural areas, even if the rural areas are wonderful places to live.
During the 2021 to 2022 school year, Colorado had a ratio of 1 psychologist to 942 students, nearly double the recommendation provided by the National Association of School Psychologists of 1 to 500. UNC professor David Hulak and assistant professor Jacqueline Anderson saw this need by applying and receiving $5 million in grants. One grant is aimed for Greeley-Evans District 6 to cover 2/3 of students' tuition and a small stipend.
And part of that concern is that there is a very high need in Greeley. A lot of kids who come from backgrounds that put them at risk for mental health problems.
The second grant is designed for students who are bilingual in Spanish and English or are interested in working in a rural community, where the grant will cover the commuting expenses.
Because it's not unusual when you're working in rural school systems to have to drive 100 miles a day. And that's an expense that's really difficult for a graduate student to bear. And so these federal grants are designed to help support some of those things.
While the deadline for next school year has passed, you can still apply for the School Psychology Graduate Training Program for upcoming school years. This is Avi Gutierrez for Bear News.
Thanks, Vi. The School Psychology Training Program isn't the only group on campus getting some money. The Residence Hall Association hosted its Big Spring Welcome Back event Tuesday night. Bellagio, the annual casino night, was held in the ballroom at the University Center. The event had various kinds of poker games such as blackjack, Texas Hold'em, and roulette. Students got the chance to win as many poker chips as they could to exchange them for tickets to bid on many different prizes. Jessica Young, the social and traditional events coordinator, said the event is where money is fake, but the fun and prizes are real.
I think these events are great for new students like myself because they allow me to reach out and meet new people, and it also allows me to have new experiences at the school.
For more information on other events, visit the RHA website. Curious on what the UNC campus nightlife has to offer? A group of students caught the attention of the university by lighting up the night sky. Reporter Sophia Raymond was able to take a closer look at these lightsaber guys. Take a look.
Have you seen the lightsaber guys lighting up the night at UNC? They've been doing many nights on campus for the last 2 years.
January 20th, 2022.
They are a group of friends who came together to create their version of the Star Wars franchise.
We write the story, and we have like the characters that we need and stuff, so then we try to like cast for those characters.
One of the co-creators, Michael Nolting, spends time before each season on ideas for the stories in the season.
At the beginning of like the season, before like the season starts, we like kind of write the story out. And write like how like the story plays out throughout the whole semester, and so we know like what videos need to happen when.
He knows which characters will be needed for each episode and duel.
And so it's kind of like set beforehand, but then also we like a lot of characters that we have, we do like kind of give the option to the person where like, okay, what do you want for your character? What do you want to happen and that kind of thing.
Before each episode or two, the group needs to discuss how the story will be played out. Bear News, Sophia.
I'm sure all the Star Wars fans out there are watching now. Thanks, Sophia. Coming up after the break, we have Drew Peters with a special weather report. We'll be right back.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Can you see anything different as a pill?
No.
You don't know?
Fentanyl is being mixed into everything now. There's only one thing that will save somebody's life. That is naloxone nasal spray.
Fentanyl, it's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
Why would drug dealers put a lethal dose of fentanyl in drugs if they know it's so harmful?
Really just all about the money.
I just didn't realize that one pill could change your whole life.
More kids should know.
All Greeley residents can surely agree that this past weekend was a bit too cold for liking. With 4 back-to-back days of negative-degree weather, along with a few inches of snow, it's been a challenge for students and residents to stay warm. Getting stuck in the freezing cold is a nightmare, but that's far from the only harm that these low temperatures can do. At 0 degrees or below, in temperature, it takes about 30 minutes for exposed skin to get frostbite. At negative 15 degrees or lower, it only takes about 15 minutes before frostbite sets in. Hypothermia can easily occur at freezing temperatures if someone isn't properly insulated as well, so make sure to bundle up when you go out there.
During this cold snap, I've been wearing 3 layers, usually a heavy coat, a nice hoodie, and then a shirt underneath just to make sure stay warm during these times.
Getting around town has also proven to be a challenge in these freezing temperatures. Many vehicles, especially ones with older or worn batteries, can even have trouble starting. UNC has also been affected by these extremely low temperatures. The university canceled all in-person classes before 11 a.m. on Tuesday, affecting not only students but also professors.
So when I saw the district starting to shut down both locally and then closer to home, I kind of assumed that we might shut down too. So I was trying to find plans or an alternative, and in the end I had to move my classes online for the day. So yeah, as a professor, it made it harder to come in and have my students while also being responsible for taking care of my son, who's still in K-12.
Despite temperatures slowly rising as next week approaches, Greeley can still see temperatures as low as 17 degrees going into the weekend. Stay warm out there, Bears. Now, I'm not an expert on the weather, but here we have our weatherman, Sam, with the weather.
Thanks, Drew. Well, yesterday was nice enough to melt some of that snow we got last week, and last night also brought in a cold front, kind of refreezing all that snow melt we got. So today we're still feeling those cold front temperatures as we take a look outside Greeley right now. It is currently 25 degrees and partly sunny skies, and we're still going to be feeling these temperatures as we get into our weekend. So tomorrow's highs for the Colorado area, 33 will be our high in Greeley, 34 down in Denver. But warm weather is on the way. I'm telling you that right now. I'll take you up in the upper atmosphere. What you're looking at right here is this ridge pattern. This is what's bringing our warm air coming into next week down from Mexico and Arizona. Rather, what's happening in the Northeast right now, they're getting that cooler air from Canada. So taking a look at our 7-day forecast, next week on Sunday, we'll have a high of 45, and looking into next week as well, staying into the 40s with a bunch of mostly sunny conditions on the way. So hopefully this weekend is better than last weekend, Sophia.
Yeah, I hope. Cold temperatures are definitely not something you want to deal with, especially when they crack your car shield. Thanks, Sam. Up next, we have Nathan Kitchen with 3 UNC sports stories that certainly kept us on the edge of our seats. Take it away, Nathan.
Thanks, Sophia. Last Saturday, the UNC women's basketball hosted the Montana State Bobcats for their 3rd Big Sky Conference game. During the second half, the Bobcats came back, evening the lead by 7 after the 3rd quarter. In the 4th quarter, the Bears managed to outscore the Bobcats 15-13. The Bears beat the Bobcats with a final score of 58-53. Senior Delaney Byrne led the way for the Bears with 23 points. Senior Hannah Semitol added on with 12 points. The Bears will travel to play Portland State at 3 p.m. Saturday at the Viking Pavilion Arena. The UNC men's basketball team battled it out against the Montana State Bobcats in Bozeman. The Bears had a lead going in the second half by 2. However, the Bobcats managed to pull away and keep the lead. The Bears ultimately lost the game 90-81. Junior St. Thomas led the scoring for the Bears with 27 points. Sophomore Brock Wisney followed with 19 points. The Bears will be back home to play Portland State Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Bank of Colorado Arena. On the wrestling mat, the Bears traveled to Riverside, California to take on California Baptist. The Bears won 20-12 against the Lancers. Number 3 ranked Vincent Serbon and number 19 ranked Dominic Serrano both earned decision victories on the dual meet. Xavier Vasquez and Xavier Doolin also scored both decision victories for the Bears. The Bears will travel next Friday to wrestle against South Dakota State at 6 p.m. at the Frost Arena. I'm Nathan Kitchen with Bear News Sports. Back to you, Sophia.
Our sports certainly had quite the weekend. Thanks, Nathan. On January 11th, UNC held its Snowball Winter Formal. Reporter Shelly Schwartz talked to some students about why they went to the dance.
Some college students, school-sponsored events are easily forgettable. With the pressure of classes, homework, and jobs, university activities can easily become nothing more than a part of your Instagram timeline. Throughout her time at the University of Northern Colorado, junior anthropology student Claire Bolin has made an effort to attend lots of what the school has to offer.
It's a way to practice confidence. It's good to get practice in going into unknown situations, since sometimes you'll be in those situations in life, especially as you're growing as an adult. This is a great low-stakes way to practice that while having an opportunity to meet new people and make great connections.
An opportunity to meet new people. People like Paul Westerfield. Westerfield is a sophomore graphic design major. He attended UNC's Winter Formal to get himself out there.
I'm not great at meeting people for the first time. I've become a lot better once I've known them, but I'm terrible at introducing myself properly, and this gives me a really good opportunity to.
He also attended because he loves to dance.
I subscribe to the phrase dance like nobody's watching from the perspective of let yourself be free and do what you want to with it. Even if you're inexperienced with it, do what makes you feel comfortable with it. And if other people enjoy it, then that means you're doing something positive for it.
So, next time an event pops up on Instagram, it might be worth it to disconnect from your comfort zone and connect with your peers. With Bear News, I'm Shelly Schwartz.
If you're interested in attending any of UNC's events this semester, check out the Bear Connect website or the UNC event calendar. Thanks, Shelly. Did you know Michener Library is displaying a new exhibit this semester? Archival Degradation is a solo exhibit by Macy Boren, an art and design student at UNC. The art confronts the normalization of sexual violence in Western art. It interrogates deep-rooted themes of misogyny in which men are the authority of great art and women are the objects they use to create it. Macy had this to say about her exhibit.
That if anyone takes anything away from this exhibit, it's to be really critical of the things that we preserve in history and the things that we choose to put up on a pedestal.
Macy had presented this exhibit in collaboration with the Assault Survivors Advocacy Program. Join the exhibit in celebration on Wednesday, January 24th from 5 to 7 p.m. in the Mayor Michener Gallery. Archival Degradation will be showing in the gallery now through the end of the semester, so don't miss it. Well, that about covers it for this week, Bears. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Sophia Tavanel with Bear News. Have a safe and fun weekend. See you next week.